At 18, Ilara Vance stood in the ruins of her childhood home, the scent of smoke still clinging to the air like a curse that refused to leave, her trembling fingers clutching. The silver locket her mother had given her before, everything burned. Before the night, the Blackridge family destroyed everything she loved, leaving behind nothing but ashes and silence. And in that silence, Ilara made a promise not to mourn, not to forgive, but to destroy. The name that echoed in her mind was one she had learned to hate with every breath. Adrian Blackridge, heir to the very family that had taken everything from her, the world saw. Adrian as untouchable, wealthy, powerful, cold. But Ilara saw him as the doorway to her revenge. And when the opportunity came in the form of a political alliance disguised as marriage, she did not hesitate. At 18, she stepped into a wedding gown not for love, but for war. Her heart hardened into something unrecognizable, her eyes hiding the storm beneath. No one knew that the quiet girl, walking down the aisle, had come not to build a future, but to tear one apart. As she stood across from Adrian at the altar, she expected arrogance, cruelty, something monstrous, but what she found instead unsettled her. His gaze was calm, almost distant, yet there was something unreadable in it, something that didn't match the villain she had built in her mind. And as their vows were exchanged, Ilara realized something dangerous. Revenge would not be as simple as she thought, because the enemy she had sworn to destroy did not look like one. Life inside the Blackridge estate was nothing like Ilara expected. Instead of cruelty, she found silence, discipline, and a strange sense of order that made her question everything she had believed. Yet she refused to let doubt weaken her resolve. She watched Adrian carefully, waiting for the monster to reveal itself. But he remained distant, composed, and frustratingly kind in ways that felt almost calculated, as if he knew she was watching. Determined not to lose sight of her purpose, Ilara began searching for secrets, hidden documents, whispered conversations, anything that could expose the truth behind her family's destruction. But what she uncovered only deepened the mystery. The Blackridge name was powerful, yes, but there were signs of enemies far greater, shadows that stretched beyond what she had imagined. And Adrian seemed less like a villain and more like someone protecting something. One night, when danger struck unexpectedly, it was Adrian who stood between her and harm without hesitation. Taking the blow meant for her, his cold composure breaking just enough to reveal something human beneath. And in that moment, as she saw him not as an enemy, but as a man willing to bleed for her, something inside Ilara shifted, just slightly, just enough to make her question if her revenge was aimed at the wrong person. The more time Ilara spent in Adrian's world, the more the lines between truth and lies began to blur, her hatred slowly unraveling as she uncovered fragments of a past she had never been told. Pieces that suggested her family's fall was not as simple as betrayal, and that the Blackridge name may not have been the true villain of her story. Adrian, once distant and unreadable, began to show glimpses of a different side, quiet moments of vulnerability, unspoken burdens, and a loneliness that mirrored her own. And despite herself, Ilara found her anger softening, replaced by something far more dangerous. She began to see the weight he carried, the sacrifices he had made, and the truth that he was trapped in a war he never chose. When the truth finally came to light, it shattered everything Ilara believed. The real enemy was not Adrian, nor his family, but a hidden force that had manipulated both their lives from the shadows, orchestrating destruction for its own gain. And in that moment, Ilara realized her revenge had been built on a lie, and that the man she had sworn to destroy was the only one who could help her uncover the truth. What began as a marriage of vengeance slowly transformed into something neither of them expected, as Ilara and Adrian were forced to work together against a common enemy, their shared pain becoming the bridge that connected them, their guarded hearts beginning to open in ways they never thought possible. Every battle they faced together brought them closer, every secret shared breaking down the walls between them, until Ilara found herself standing at the edge of a truth she could no longer deny. She had fallen for the very man she once wanted to destroy. But love, she realized, was far more terrifying than revenge, because it meant risking everything, including her heart. Adrian, too, struggled with emotions he had long buried. Torn between his duty and his growing feelings for Elara, knowing that loving her could cost him everything, yet unable to push her away. And as danger closed in around them, they both realized that their greatest battle was no longer against their enemies, but against the fear of losing each other. The final confrontation came with a storm of betrayal, truth and sacrifice as the real enemy revealed itself, forcing Elara and Adrian to face the past they had both been running from, and the future they might not survive to see. In the chaos, Elara was given a choice: to finish the revenge she had started, or to protect the man she had come to love. In the end, she chose differently. She chose love over hatred, truth over vengeance, and in doing so, she broke the cycle that had defined her life, proving that even the deepest scars could lead to something beautiful. But the cost of that choice was not small, and as the dust settled, nothing would ever be the same again. Standing beside Adrian, no longer as enemies but as equals, Elara realized that her story had not ended with revenge. It had begun with forgiveness, with courage, and with a heart that had learned to change before it was too late. And in that quiet moment, she understood the greatest truth of all. Sometimes, the person you're meant to destroy is the one who saves you instead.